I have a serious problem when it comes to working on cars because I can't like half do something. It's not in my realm, unfortunately. So, you know what we're talking about the boot setup. Obviously it's all finished now, but I absolutely hate the factory carpet. I think it looks atrocious. So what we're gonna do is I brought some MDF paneling. I think it's about 6mm thick. And we're gonna make our own floor and have it raised up so the carpet isn't touching the battery and isn't touching the compressor, because we don't want that to catch fire, yet alone like heat up, that sort of thing. So we're gonna start from scratch, make our own MDF floor, and even make some like winglets that kind of sit on the side here, just for the extra height for the compressor and obviously the battery. So yeah, just kind of sit it up there in that sort of sense, try and make it look as good as possible. And obviously give the compressor some room to breathe, because I feel like that's pretty important. I haven't actually worked with wood before that much, so this is going to be a new experience. I've only done like one class in high school in woodwork, but I got this piece, I got another piece, and I've got some longer lengths just to keep some structure and keep it strong from flexing about. I reckon it's going to be the same size. It's the biggest size they had, so fingers crossed the length is like bang on. Tell you what, I'm pretty lucky. So this part which flicks up to cover like the wiring and stuff, we're gonna have to make a new one, but it ends literally at the end of the carpet. So the width is perfect. So I'm probably just gonna trace out a big square, and then with an extra cut through here for the fuel tank. And yeah, see if it fits, just try and do that, and then we'll probably wrap it all in like automotive carpet, which will look really nice and make the winglets. So yeah, let's get started and see how it goes. I'm a bit worried because yeah, I haven't done anything like this before. Well, that was a bit easier than I thought. I just need to clean it up before I chuck it in the car, but yeah, it's straight enough, so we'll see how it ends up. I really hope it fits, because I don't know what to do if it doesn't. Well, yeah. Oh shit. If it was just a little bit wider, it would have been perfect. There's a little bit of gapping on either side, but I think it should be okay. Like, we're gonna have I guess the other pieces sort of sit like this, and then the other piece sit like that. The only thing I'm not happy with is sort of here, but I don't think you're going to see it. But it looks already like a lot better than this rubbish. So I'll get started, I guess, on making the wing part. I don't know if I'm going to use like a hinge so you can sort of flip it out for serviceability, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Next step for this puzzle is to add some strength to the MDF. So I'm going to cut some pieces and probably have 2 to 3 lengthways, and then see what it looks like. If it's not perfect, I think I'm going to cut a new piece. I do have a spare. I was going to use it to get rid of the receipts, but the sheet's like 30 bucks, so it's 20 bucks. It's nothing, so I can always go get another one if I need to. I'm going to cut them up and see what it looks like. I'm not going to drill into this MDF just yet. I'm just going to sit it in and then make sure I'm 100% happy with it before we move on. At the start of this video, I was saying how like everything needs to be perfect, and I don't think I'm going to be happy with the sort of winglet ideas that we had at the start by like raising and covering all that. 40mm is like perfect to clear the compressor, and it will give it heaps of breathing room, which is obviously what we want. However, the issue that we've got now is on the opposing side, it's touching the top of the battery. Now, I can't get the battery any lower, and I really want to run this battery because it's really good. It's quite powerful, and for what we need, it's perfect. So I think I'm going to go get some different sized thickness of that pine that we had, which is this. Now, it's like 40mm in width by 19. So we've got it currently sitting up lengthways. So what we need is probably about 10 to 15mm thicker. So I'm going to go head to Bunnings, go get some thicker pine and go from there. Got the wood. It was very busy at Bunnings. So I managed to get, let's have a look at this one. It's 64 mil in width, which will be perfect. So I'm gonna have to cut this in half. We'll sit our crappy template on to see where the gaps are and such, because if it's gonna be high, obviously it's gonna be a bit bigger, and then we can figure out how much bigger we need to make it. I'll sit the carpet on, measure it all up, so when we cut the second piece, it's gonna fit a lot better. All right, they're cut now, so let's see what we're going to be working with. All right, now we're cooking. So this is definitely going to clear the battery, heaps of space for the compressor, which is perfect. The next part is to fill this gap in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit the carpet on and then offset it to see if the outside of the template, which is here, sits in nice enough. And then what I'm going to do is when I cut it, I'm going to do a second line and make it about 10 to 15 mil bigger and just make a guess and see how we end up. Worst case is another trip to Bunnings. This sits in a lot better now, so I'll get a paint pen and mark it. As you can see, look at the offset. So all we need to do is just create a mark up here that's about straight. Yeah, that's the mark there. Pretty hard to see, pretty hard to record and do it all at the same time. And then the next stage is how we're going to do this section. This section here needs to be about 70 mil bigger. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's going to be a bit hard, but we'll figure it out. Traced it out. I managed to make this side about 10 mil bigger on the trace. That side's bang on because we had it bang on. The only thing we need to do now is just roughly trace out, you know, the 70 mil, which is quite a fair bit. So what I'm going to do is, I'm no artist, but I'll just sort of do that. And then we can always trim around and cut off, because yeah, you can't really add more wood on. So we'll get this cut and see how we end up. Probably just straight into the jigsaw or whatever it's called. No circ saw this. No circ saw this time. Alright, so I had to cut both of the side bits off that we made to fill in the cheeks, because otherwise the MDF flooring wouldn't have fit, but it fits a lot better than it did. This is that side, that one is this side. So this side's not too bad. Do some trimming. This side's pretty bad. So take a bit off at the top and then obviously cut to fit. So yeah, I'll get chipping away at that because it's the boring part. And so it is all sitting in. Boy, it looks a lot nicer. I've just got to clean up all the ends and fix it up a bit. So I'll do that and then put all the cross bracing in and then sit it in again, make sure I'm happy with it, and then figure out how we're going to secure the wing parts and then put some carpet on it. I've gone ahead and added these winglets here, so these guys will screw into like so on either side. And what that's going to allow me to do is just secure it a bit better and make sure it's nice and strong, so it's not having to do that. Then we'll test fit it before we put the carpet on, make sure it's all in. I'll take those little winglets off, carpet it, and go from there. It's looking heaps better now. I've got the winglets in. They're pretty much flush with the body of the car, so definitely worked out quite nicely. The only downside is that back part, but you can't really see it for now. Next, what we're going to do, take everything out, sand everything down, and carpet the whole thing. Step is to grab some spray adhesive for your stretch carpet. Spray it a lot on the piece you're going to apply, and then on the opposing side. Let it sit for about 5 minutes and then you can place it on. We're kind of short on carpet, so I'm going to try and make use of it. It's only 1 meter by 2 meters. So it's actually not going to cover this, so we're going to have to put an extra piece on there later on. But we'll start with this first and see how it goes. All done. Time to let it sit for about 5 minutes, so about 3-4 more minutes, and then we can sit it on, stretch it on, and then cut it, and then we can do the winglets. It might not look like much, but it was pretty hard to do, so I got Dad to give me a hand. Only downside just here, it's a bit on show right there, but it should be alright. We're going to cover it anyway with the seats and stuff, so yeah, looks good. We're going to have to trim it now, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but I think in between trimming it, we will do the other 2 pieces, so we'll do a bit of a time lapse on that one. So close, yet so far away. That's mint. That's mint. I glued the wrong side of the carpet to the wood. And I'm out of carpet. And I have to go buy a whole new roll of the same carpet to make it match up. Good one. Alright, we're all done with the boot setup. I just finished that carpet piece. And yeah, as you can see, it's looking really nice now. So a lot better than what it did. It's all flat, a lot better than that crappy carpet that we had over there. Yeah, it's not 40 years old, so it does look really nice. Just need to vacuum it, maybe create a piece for the back, but for now, it's serving its purpose, which is hiding that setup like I intended to do. Seeming as we're done, that will be it for today's video. I think next we'll probably get rid of the rear seats and flatten it all, maybe put a sub or something in. Even Rocky doesn't like the old carpets. Definitely worth doing that. Everything's hidden, which is smick. So once again, thank you everyone for the support. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. It means the world. If you could hit that subscribe button as well, if you haven't already, it really helps, especially with creating new videos and showing some engagement, which is mint. So yeah, I think next we'll probably fix the seats up, the rear seats, get them out of there. And we've also got a bit of a photo shoot day with this car, which will be really cool. So we've got some young aspiring photographers, yeah, giving them the opportunity to shoot this car in large groups with another great guy who's going to lead the charge. So yeah, cannot wait. It should be good. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one.